Hello and welcome back to DisruptED TV Student Voice. I'm your host Bobby, here today with a junior in high school, Emerald. How are you today, Emerald?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good, thank you. Our first question for you today is, do you feel that if you have a problem, there is a teacher with whom you can talk to?
Yes, there are certain teachers I do feel comfortable talking to, but it's usually in the drama and arts department because I spend most of my time with them and I feel like they're just a lot easier to talk to than a English teacher or a math teacher that I don't see as often.
How does it make you feel knowing that you do have those teachers to be able to talk to if you're having an issue?
It alleviates a lot of stress because if I have a problem within the school day, I can go to them, but it's not always the case because usually I don't see them or I don't know, it makes me feel a little better that I have a teacher to talk to.
When you're in your other classes that you say you don't exactly feel confident talking to those other teachers, how does it make you feel when you're in those classes? Do you feel confident going through the day, going through the learning process?
Not exactly. It makes me feel a little bit more uncomfortable and I just want that class to be over as quick as possible.
What do you feel could be done to kind of change that perspective for you?
I guess the teachers could be more inviting to students and not really push them away.
Can you elaborate a little further as to what you mean on that?
If something happens during class, like a problem between two students, if one student goes up to the teacher and they explain what had happened, the teacher can try and resolve the problem instead of sending the student down guidance and having them figure it out themselves.
And that's usually what happens? There's
Yes.
no direct contact with the teachers with issues?
No.
Okay. Our next question for you today is, do you feel that adults at your school listen to student suggestions?
Yes, but to a point, and if a suggestion is brought up to a teacher, it usually takes weeks to months for it to happen and to see a change.
Why do you feel that that is the reason, why do you feel that that is the case, that happens?
Mostly because teachers don't know what to do with student suggestions and they don't know how to make it happen in the most efficient way possible.
How does that make you feel as a student?
As a student, it makes me feel very disrespected and like my opinion doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things.
Okay. Is that the same case for most other students?
It seems like it because from personal experience, I've seen students go up to many teachers with many different problems and suggestions that they have to make the school a better place, and really none of it happens very often.
Do any of those questions or responses that students actually give teachers ever actually get put into action? Do they ever really take them into account?
Sometimes for very major things, like recently with our security guard petition, it was signed and it got approved, but that was really the last major change that we've seen in our school so far.
What exactly was your security guard petition?
It was to keep our security guards and to make our school better in the security department and for our students to feel safer when we're there.
Okay, that's great to hear that there was such a big support for such a thing.
Yes.
Thank you again for joining us, Emerald.
No problem.
And as for students out there, please take this question into mind. Does your school validate student voice? And if it does, how can you help your school further that voice? Thank you again for joining us today. I'm your host, Bobby, and we'll see you next time.